To be honest, for me it is total magic. I don't know any other modality comparable. I haven't had results like that with anything else, and also so many people I know. So yeah, in one word, magic. So you don't have to live the life that was pre-designed for you, that someone else is creating for you, but the life you choose. So you have the choice, you get to choose. And to help with that, we have, you could say, two groups of tools. So there are body processes, which one of the main body processes that I do is access bars. And then there are verbal tools and processes.
Welcome to this new episode, and today I am here with Sasha. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Very nice. So Sasha is an access consciousness a practitioner and facilitator.
Yes.
So I'm very interested in learning more about your therapy, and also I like to ask you, what is your story in life up until now?
I used to be not in a good space. Like right now, I'm in this really good place and I'm so happy and all this stuff. Like people are like, wow, you're so happy, you're such joy. But that wasn't always the case. Actually, I used to be very depressed. I was on antidepressants. People are surprised when they see me now, when they hear that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I was on antidepressants for many years. And I was just not happy. Like, I just knew that there was so much more possible, but I didn't know how to get there. Mm-hmm. I always had this, so many issues. I just wasn't happy with myself. I was judging myself. I was judging my body. I felt like I was the wrongest person on the planet. I had difficult relationships. I was struggling with money, with my body, all these things. I had so many fears. I was really stuck in life for a long, long time. And then I was trying many different things. It came to a point where everything just became too difficult and I had to change something. I had to do something. And then I was trying all these different things, all kinds of meditations, different methods, different spiritual paths, all this stuff. And things would change a little bit, with everything I tried, things would change a bit and improve a little bit. But then, I don't know, eventually I would fall back or the thing would be too boring to keep going, when you have to practice something and it's just not so fun, but you just do it because you feel some improvement, but it's nothing would really work long term. And then there was this year 2017 when I found myself in a really shitty place. So my ex broke up with me after a long-term relationship, and about a year before that, my mom had died. So it was this really, really difficult time in my life. And I was like, okay, now I'm done here. I don't know what to do. I can't go on. And then somehow this thing called access bars came into my life. So my friend had just finished the course and she offered me a session. She was like, do you want to try this? I'm happy to give you a session. I was like, I don't know what it is, but if you think it will help, just do whatever you want. And then she gives me a session. And I'm just lying there, and she's just literally just touching points on my head. And stuff is happening within me. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Something is happening. And I was seeing all these images and hearing words. And it was really intense. It was this state between sleep and wakefulness, really deep. And that lasted for about 90 minutes, I think. Mm. And when the session was finished, I felt so much lighter and happy. And I was just lying there. I was just what just happened? What did you just do to me? And then I wanted to get up, and my arms felt like rubber, and I couldn't get up, and my arms were just doing this, and I just started laughing, and she started laughing, and then we were just laughing for 10 minutes. So it was like, okay, something definitely happened here. But then after that, it still took me a while to really get into it, because now in hindsight, I see that I was still choosing to be like a victim, and like choosing the shit a little bit, because you can't have it too easy, you can't have it too good. That's what they teach us. But now I know that you can.
Sure. Any kind of psychological state that you're in, there is some payoff or some advantages to the ego, right? You identify yourself as the sick person, so that people have to come to you and help you, or there are different things that our complex minds come up with, indeed, in order to survive and cope with life. But before we go more in details into access consciousness, I want to learn a little bit more about your early sort of growing up environment. You said that you had always this feeling of not being very good, and also judging yourself in different ways.
Yeah, like I was wrong.
When did it start developing? Was it like a teenage thing, or just
Probably
as a child?
Before even. I'm not sure. Like definitely I remember by the time I was like 12, 13, it was already quite intense.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I felt like an alien with people, like with friends. Oh, I also had severe social phobia. I would like hide when we got visitors at home and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now you seem so extroverted and so solar. It's amazing.
I always knew that I was actually like that underneath that, but I just didn't know how to get to it, because there was so much shit piled up.
And when you say this shit is most like limiting beliefs and trauma, and just sort of narratives that would make you feel not adequate or not enough, or what? How did it manifest?
I guess, yeah. I just always felt like there was something wrong with me, that I was not like gap enough, not good enough, not this enough, not that enough, and it was actually really difficult, because I just had like it's like this sense of wrongness that you have, and it almost feels like it cannot be changed. And then when I started doing access consciousness, and one of the first things they tell you is you are not wrong, and like it's what do you call it, like the tagline of access consciousness is empowering people to know that they know, and asking questions and things like that. And then I was like, shit, wow, what if there was actually never anything wrong with me? It was such a mind blow. And I guess I knew that even before, but it's one thing to know it cognitively, and another thing to feel it and embody it and live it.
So true, so true. Okay, so you said always this feeling of insufficiency to a certain extent, and then what age did you start actually going into therapies or learning about spirituality or energy?
I think I first went to therapy in my 20s, I think.
Okay.
Because life was just really unbearable. Like there were some points when I would get so depressed and so anxious that I just couldn't even live. Like I would just lie in bed. So I went to therapy, and then I feel like after that, kind of like I started exploring more and more and different things. And I learned transcendental meditation and what else? Mindfulness. And Byron Katie and things like that, like so many different things. And from then on, it was just this, wow, there's so much to explore.
Okay, that's very interesting. Yes, it's a seeker's journey, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Which is quite common in Koh Phangan, but it's amazing because you say, like 2017, your whole world crashed down again. Big sort of trigger event, and then that's when you came to Koh Phangan, or?
No, 2020, beginning of 2020.
Okay, so you were still in Slovenia, is that right?
In 17, yeah.
Okay, very good. And then, what prompted you to come to Koh Phangan?
It's a funny story. So I would always travel during the winter when I was still based in Slovenia, because I just didn't like winters, and maybe the last 5 years before coming here, I would always spend the winter usually here in Southeast Asia somewhere. And so I was in Bali first, and then I came to Chiang Mai. And then my friend was here, there in Chiang Mai, my friend from Denmark, and she was like, oh, I'm going to Koh Phangan next month, and I have a bungalow. Would you want to come and share the bungalow? I was like, yes, definitely. Because I had been here before in 2016, but like very briefly, just a tourist thingy with my boyfriend at the time. And I loved the island, and I was like, I want to live here someday. I had no idea how. It was just a dream, but I just knew that I wanted to live here someday. And yeah, then somehow things magically came together, and I came here, and then we all know what happened all over the planet.
For sure.
And
Okay.
I was like, I'm staying here.
Very nice. So, okay, let's delve into it then. So, access consciousness. Let's start with these two words, okay? So, we are talking about a technique that was really, really important as a shift in your life.
Definitely.
And it was so important and so beneficial to you that you decided to learn it and then start holding space for people as well. So can you tell us what is access consciousness or access bars?
I can attempt. Because for me it is magic. To be honest, for me it is total magic. I don't know any other modality comparable. I haven't had results like that with anything else, and also so many people I know. So yeah, in one word, magic. What it's actually designed for is, as the name says, to help people access more consciousness. Which helps you have more of you, so like get rid of all the stuff that isn't you, everything we pick up while growing up from society, people, and so on. More of you, more joy, more happiness, and basically the tools to create your life in the way you desire. So you don't have to live the life that was pre-designed for you, that someone else is creating for you, but the life you choose. So you have the choice, you get to choose. And to help with that, we have, you could say, two groups of tools. So there are body processes, which one of the main body processes that I do is access bars, which we can talk about later. And then there are verbal tools and processes. And there are clearings, verbal clearings, and then there are other tools. There are questions. We ask lots of questions, like how does it get any better than this? And what else is possible? Those are the two main questions that basically invite more possibilities. And when you just ask from this space of curiosity, without trying to limit it, like it should be like this and like that, but you just ask the question, that the universe can really contribute and show you possibilities beyond what you can imagine.
Okay, that's wonderful. I think you explain it very well.
Thank you.
So, well, the idea is that consciousness, more conscious and more aware you are of, what's happening, and the conditioning of culture, limiting beliefs, and sort of the monkey mind jumping from, one concept to the next. So the more you're aware of this, and more you can let go of all these layers of pre-made way of looking at the world and yourself, and then tap into a real sort of feeling of consciousness and awareness, and then sort of really choose or have more of a choice of the kind of people you want to hang out with, the kind of things that really turn you on, and your passions in life. Is that right? That's
really great. You get more choice. That's what we are doing. We are removing limitations, and then you see more possibilities, and you can choose things that you weren't able to choose before.
That's very good.
That's exactly.
So, and of course, as you said earlier, you go through this process, and intellectually people start saying, yes, I could do that, I could be there, etc. Intellectually, but then also you go into the body. And because of course, we need to embody this new way of feeling and looking at reality, right?
Yeah, so that's where the body processes come in, yeah. So the body processes they require touch of the body, and then we run certain energies, like every process is a different energy. There are around, I think, 70 processes that I practice at the moment.
Wow.
And what they do is they unlock stuff from the body. And of course that also is influencing the being. And all these things I didn't mention before, like all the tools are energetic. They're based on the energy, because if everything is energy, once you change the energy of something, then the thing can actualize differently in the world. So that's how it works.
Of course, I'm very familiar with craniosacral therapy, also with Reiki. I done another type of energy healing called meta healing from a guy in Koh Phangan. I tried many different things. So of course, for me, energy is a thing. In Chinese medicine, you have Qi. In Indian sort of tradition, you have prana. And you say everything is energy, like this Tesla as well, like mentioning. And once you can shift the energy of somebody, then you actually shift the person itself, right? And the physical come after the energetic to a certain extent. Is that right?
Yeah.
So you just put your hands like very close to the body, or you
the body.
Soft touch, yeah, as well?
Very gentle touch, yeah.
Okay. And then you hold it there, and do you do some channeling, or?
I don't necessarily do anything. Okay. I just touch the points, and then things are happening. But also there can be verbal facilitation during the body processes, which can be a very powerful combination. I just had a session recently that was like, wow. I just like sometimes I get the awareness to mention this possibility to the person before we start, that we can also look at some things verbally. And then this session was just amazing because the person was so willing to change things, and she would just mention one thing, like she would just ask me one question, and then I started facilitating her, and then we just went everywhere and we changed so much. And
that's
I love
good.
that.
I can tell it's very satisfying for you.
Yeah, that is amazing. That's really wow.
That's very lovely indeed. And okay, so typically, I mean, how many sessions do you try to? So you try to get the client committed to? I mean, can you get some benefits on just one session?
Definitely, you can get benefits from one session, but it's a little bit like going to the gym. If you go one time, you will feel amazing. Well, hopefully. But if you are more consistent with it, naturally you will get better results.
Mm-hmm. And is there any technique that the client learns and they can do on their own?
They can take the class with me, and then, or another facilitator, obviously, and then they can do it. But just when they just come for the session, they just receive the session. But I can also share verbal tools if they want to learn that.
Very good. Do you know if it's inspired by any particular sort of tradition, or it's I suppose it's a modern therapy, right?
It's been around for about 30 years, I think.
Okay, very good.
I feel like it's a perfect blend of so many different things, and of course there are common themes with so many traditions, but at the same time it's so unique. I really haven't encountered anything like that, and I am definitely open. Like if there's something even better, I'm so open to it. Like universe, bring it on. But yeah, for me it's...
Okay, so let's delve into the body aspect a little bit more. So this is called access bars.
Access bars is
right?
the main body process I do, yeah.
Okay, so tell me a little bit. I mean, if I am a client and I'm coming to one of your sessions, how does it actually work then?
Okay, so you just lie down and I just gently touch points on your head. Mm-hmm. There are 32 points, and each point basically corresponds to an area of your life, well, of our lives. So for example, we have points for money, body, sexuality, creativity, awareness, and so on. Mm-hmm. And what happens is when the points are touched, all this stuff related to that area of life, all the limitations you have, all the judgments you have, all the electromagnetic charge related to thoughts, feelings, and emotions about that begins to be released.
Okay.
And that opens you up for more possibilities, more joy, more freedom, more choice, more of you, more space, all the yummy stuff. Mm-hmm. That's the beauty of it, is that I literally just put my fingers on the person's head and then the energy goes where it's supposed to go. I
see you as a member of the community of Sri Tanu, and very much so, right?
I don't know, is that a good thing?
For me it is a great thing, obviously, because of course, you know, it's easy to see you at sort of like fruitarian gatherings, ecstatic dance, different kind of like events that are happening in Koh Phangan. You tend to like, you have many friends in the community, right? Is that right? So, and you came here in 2020, and I like to ask you, why do you still love Koh Phangan so much? And what are your plans?
That is so funny because so many people have asked me that within the last few days. And I was just talking to someone yesterday and we discovered that it's the freedom here that is like, such a magical thing for me, and such a simple life in a way. Like I'm barefoot, I have my scooter, I have a simple house, I go to the beach, I go to waterfalls, I go to ecstatic dance, I have friends, like all these things. I do my energy work. Yeah, but it's not like a boring, simple life. It's still super exciting, and there is amazing nature here. But I think that the main thing underneath all of that is the freedom.
It's so true.
Yeah.
I resonate so much to it. I think Koh Phangan traditionally always been a place for freedom, possibly because of the huge parties, you know, and then that also, you know, overflown onto like our community, and particularly in a world that seems becoming less free, you know.
Exactly.
We are holding on to our freedom.
Oasis of freedom.
Trying to hold on to it as much as possible. Okay, and you're planning, I mean, to stay a little bit longer?
Yeah, for now, definitely.
For now, yeah.
I mean, as long as I'm enjoying it like I am right now, I see no reason to be anywhere else. I don't even know where else I could be.
Cool, that's great. Well, Sasha, thank you very much for this little chat. You know, it was a pleasure to learn a little bit more about yourself. And yes, kapun kap.
Ka.
Thank you.